Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. Now what kind of collection will make your head spin?
Of course not. This is a lovely room of death.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. When it comes to gaming, this form of entertainment has been around for several decades. Starting with small beginnings, that went on to provide gaming memories for gamers all over the world. Some of these gamers would play classic games such as Pac-Man, Mario and my favourite Sonic the Hedgehog. These days, some of these games are found on mini consoles, as well as a whole multitude of gaming compilations that celebrate the greatest games of the past. And speaking of compilations in the world of gaming, there is a Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, which is a must-have for any gamer that loves retro gaming. Sega! But there is one compilation that has a certain charm about it that made it very popular with gamers. This was Rare Replay, which is sadly missing some of the games from Nintendo and the legendary GoldenEye, but what gamers get instead is 30 games of fun and a whole heap of unlockable content. Of course, Rare have always been a pillar of gaming, charming gamers with their classic style and some of the fantastic games in their library. And of course, like most things, let's go back to the past to see how it all started. All the way back in the mid-80s, Rare had begun their humble journey into the world of gaming, being one of the biggest developers for the gaming systems from Nintendo. With classic games such as Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct and Battletoads, it seemed that gamers couldn't get enough of this British game developer. And this partnership with Nintendo was a match made in heaven, especially when the Nintendo 64 was released. With each game, it seemed to be that Rare had the Midas touch. Rare would go on to release fantastic games such as Blast Corps, Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark for the Nintendo 64. Some of these games had that unique style from Rare, which charmed gamers who look back on some of these games with fondness. But sadly, despite being the perfect partnership in the world of gaming, in 2002, shortly after the release of Star Fox Adventures, Microsoft acquired Rare, which shook up the world of gaming. No longer were Nintendo gamers getting the exclusive games from Rare. That golden era of the 90s had come to a close, but from there the likes of Perfect Dark Zero, Grabbed by the Ghoulies and Viva Pinata soon graced gaming with their presence. Although popular with gamers at the time, that charm that Rare had back in the 90s had diminished with some lackluster game releases, which in a way would cause Rare to rethink what made them popular with gamers back in the past, and luckily in 2015 they came up with the perfect answer to this question. Now Rare was celebrating 30 years within the world of gaming, especially with gaming development, and seeing this as a perfect opportunity to rekindle that spark with gamers, they decided to release the fantastic Rare Replay as part of the celebrations. Rare had over 120 games to choose from, but would have to dwindle this list down based on certain factors, such as popularity, replayability, and that nostalgia feeling for gamers that grew up playing games from Rare. Now most gamers have their favourites, mine being a mixture from the world of 16-bit, as well as the fantastic classics on the Nintendo 64. Not wanting to just use ports of their own games, Rare decided to go back and update some of these fantastic games with remastered graphics. There was also an idea of including previously unreleased and unfinished games, but due to time constraints, this plan was ultimately dropped. And in August of 2015, Rare Replay graced the world of gaming, bringing back that nostalgic feeling for gamers who played these classic games. When starting up Rare Replay, gamers are treated to an intro showcasing all the characters in a theatrical performance usually found on the stage. And from there, gamers can access the large library of games with some popular titles such as Jet Force Gemini, Banjo-Tooie, and Elusive Conquer's Bad Fur Day, to name a few. A game that is highly sought after by collectors, definitely one I'll come back to in the future.
Gamers are treated to a 30-year history of gaming from Rare, showcasing their most popular titles that have that sense of nostalgia for older gamers, as well as some great unlockable content found within the digital walls of this fantastic game.
Now, some gamers were a bit frustrated that the unlockable content wasn't available from the get-go, but this only adds to the fun factor of Rare Replay that also comes jam-packed with some additional features.
Some of the great options within Rare Replay allowed the changing of the screen settings to that of old CRTVs, adding to that nostalgia, as well as allowing younger gamers to input cheat modes for the more difficult games.
And of course, there's also a feature of turning back time with certain games, even letting some gamers finally beat the dreaded turbo tunnel from Battletoads.
Rare Replay also comes with challenges called snapshots, where gamers are given tasks to complete to further unlock more content, which only adds to the replayability of Rare Replay, which in itself is a great compilation of some of the classics.
Now, Rare for me will always be one of those gaming developers that helped shape the world of gaming, especially in the 90s, alongside the legendary Nintendo and Sega.
Overall, the games made by Rare are both unique and fun to play, having a certain charm about them as well as providing a great gaming experience. This compilation of Rare's gaming history has some fantastic games that gamers old and new will fall in love with. With Rare Replay being a labour of love, it's a shame other gaming titles were missing, but hopefully in time there will be a sequel in the future. Possibly one day, Rare will make a welcome return to that unique gaming style. Maybe gamers will finally get a crossover game where the heroes Banjo and Conker team up looking for a missing Kazooie, and they'll probably stumble into the path of Mario and Sonic. Either way, gamers won't be disappointed with the games from Rare, and this fantastic compilation is a perfect addition to any gamer's selection.
Anyway, come back next time where the cartoon guy takes a look at Ulysses 31 and his take on that classic Greek tale. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.